with Lee Sin and Kha'Zix.
So last ban was LeBlanc for KT Bullets this time. They may want to first pick it for Ryu. Again, it really is a stable champion, and they're going to take out Lulu.
Okay.
So the last ban here was Rise for Shield.
Now,
So either Rise or Jax is going through.
Or do you think you maybe ban Yasuo and like try to force a Nidalee pick or get it yourself for Goon?
Well, the thing about the KT Bullets is they banned the LeBlanc, so they're really worried about Ryu having that. I actually am a bit surprised because they could have just let the Bullets have LeBlanc and then taken Nidalee and not had to worry about the Yasuo.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of...
Or the Bullets would have had to first pick Jax, and then White Shield could have gotten the LeBlanc.
Yeah.
So I actually don't like that LeBlanc ban. I think that Shield would have gotten a comfort pick either way, and it would have created a lot more tension for the Bullets, where they would have maybe not taken that Jax first, or they would have at least had to give up something really strong for it.
That's a good point, yeah.
Of course, NaJin White Shield does have the luxury of last picking the Nidalee on the red side this time.
Yeah, they do get the Jax for Leopard as well, too, and I mean, Jax a pretty big priority pick in general in Korea right now, and Save will counter with the Renekton. Yet again.
Leopard will be running Teleport Jax this time instead of Save's Ignite Jax.
Yeah.
So we'll have a little bit more map presence, and Save opting to go with the Ignite on the Renekton. More than likely. Much more common version of this matchup rather than what we saw last time around. And there's a reason for that, just because, of course, the Renekton, because he did make the teleport plays in the early game, looked really good. But as we were moving into the late game right there, we saw that teleport was actually very difficult for him to use properly because he was never going to be able to split push against that Jax.
Oh, okay, so we've got the Evelynn pickup for Watch. All right. A comfort pick for him, and he's been able to make a lot of good early game plays all season long with that Evelynn.
Yeah, the Evelynn has been banned repeatedly against him. He opted for the Wukong last game. I just really famously don't like jungle Wukong unless it's with Yasuo. Then it's okay.
Yeah.
But they weren't able to really make it work in that last game, and Watch, I think, will have a lot more success with his comfort pick of Evelynn.
Well, certainly a lot more early pressure, which is really what they kind of needed last game but didn't have because of that Wukong.
Well, they knew they weren't going to have that early pressure. They made a decision, and the KT Bullets exploited their weakness. So,
well, Insec, you know, he's played the Jungle Shaco in the past, but I don't think we're going to see it today, unfortunately.
Jungle Shyvana.
Interesting, yeah, okay, well, there's been some talk about Jungle Shyvana quite a bit. Do you think we're going to see him pick up the Feral Flare with that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
You have to. And that's the thing about Jungle Shyvana, though, is that she is such a fast jungler. With the Feral Flare, she can stack it extremely quickly. Now, still an outside possibility that we're going to see a Jungle Jax here.
Yeah, that is true.
Of course, Insec likes to play those carry junglers. We did see Spirit play the Jungle Jax yesterday in Masters and win. So, definitely a stylistic match. So it is a bit ambiguous here from the KT Bullets what they're going to be doing. Of course, Jax would be punished much harder in that matchup early on than Shyvana would be. Neither is a great matchup against Renekton, but Shyvana certainly loses less hard.
Yeah.
And the Twitch for score this time, something that he's been much more active on, and they will give over the comfort pick of Lucian to Zephyr. So
I think Zephyr going to feel a lot better on Lucian this game.
He wandered outside of his comfort zone with, you know, his Lucian Caitlyn comfort zone.
Yeah.
Didn't play a good Twitch that last game.
The whole team kind of wandered outside of the comfort zone last time, and now it's like, all right, we're going to kind of go back to what we know. The Annie pickup for Gorilla. Of course, Annie, Lucian, an extremely strong dual lane.
Now, probably Orianna here for Ryu, and then Nidalee for Gorilla is what I think is going to be coming in.
He's definitely one of the better Ryu players in Korea, or Orianna players. He's really good at being himself, but he's also good at playing Orianna, and he's very good at Twisted Fate as well.
Okay, so very different. Now, Mafa going back to Karma. He hasn't played Karma in a little bit, but he and Hachani on the KT Arrows were two of the people to really revive support Karma. And now that Twitch Karma lane is massive early game damage.
Yeah. And also a pretty good counter to Lucian Annie. You know, Annie can't take the poke very well.
And Ryu will walk in that TF.
Nice,
so
I like it.
he still will be able to push Nidalee in here. I like it. And they've got 2 globals again, so KT Bullets, they are very confident after that last game in their ability to use globals during the laning phase in order to create a large lead and then snowball that to victory.
I'm really happy to see this TF come back. He's always been one of my favorite champions to watch, especially with the good players playing him. And there's a Nidalee locked in for Goong. Speaking of good players playing fun champions to watch, the spears will be flying in game number 2, and Goong hits them more often than not. More often than a lot of other mid laners, too.
Now, this looks like a NaJin White Shield comp. As opposed to last game, this is.
Yeah, it does.
Has NaJin White Shield written all over it. They will have that powerful mid-game siege when Nidalee gets a couple of items. Lucian finishes that Bloodthirster. And, of course, save on one of his favorite aggressive top lane champions in Renekton.
Indeed.
And Ryu, man, Ryu's return to Twisted Fate. Ryu also opting to go Dade style with the Flash and the Ghost. Of course, I think this is going to be default now with the boot enchantment changes in 4.5, where you get the additional 12% movement speed, moves it from 28 to 40% movement speed on Ghost. It really just shines on Twisted Fate because you can never escape him. He's just going to get gold card after gold card and hunt you down.
Very true. Well, can NaJin White Shield hunt down a win in game number 2 and tie things up against the KT Bullets? And this is a pretty crucial one. You know, if a team goes up 2-0 in a best-of-5 like this, it's pretty hard to come back. But, hey, if you're going to do it against somebody, KT Bullets are a good one to do it against, apparently. So, we'll see. They were, before, people were saying, oh, this NaJin, like, not good. But then they got better, and everyone's, like, saying, this NaJin, like, wow, they're good now.
They are good now.
Yeah, it's the basic gist of it.
So, Insec ends up with the Jax, as we saw at the end of the pick ban phase there, and so they swapped things up a little bit. Now, Spirit had a bit of a tough time on that Jax, but what the KT Bullets have done is they've set themselves up to push the 2v2 and mid lane early, and Insec will have some time to farm up as long as Leopard can just hold it together in the top lane against Save's Renekton. And then it's going to be all about making picks. So Twitch, Karma, TF, and Jax, they've got a speed boost. They've got a lot of hard CC. They've got 2 teleports.
It's going to be really fun to watch. Like, this is the kind of game we expected to see coming into it. These types of comps going against each other, it's going to be really cool.
High risk, high reward, though, because if you go in for a pick and you don't kill them and you don't get an objective, Lucian and Nidalee will push down your tower. So
very true.
Very different styles. And Save.
Oh, they missed him with the slow.
Save manages to sidestep that one in the nick of time.
Yep.
1 ward down over for KT by the red buff. And they were trying to call the lane swap here, actually, from NaJin, expecting the red side team to go up into the top.
Yeah.
And as a result, Insec going to go early on that invade, and they're going to, we'll see if they 4v0 or not.
I would guess they might, but look at this. Ryu, watch coming in from behind, a level 2 gank. Ryu, force out of lane. Oh, he ghosts himself back into a spear.
Well, he did that to take less damage.
Oh, that's true, that's true.
So
I thought he could have outrun it, but I guess not. I guess Ryu didn't think so either. He would know better than me.
Yep. And there we go. Jax going in for the blue buff right now. And Ryu able to heal off that. Of course, the spear's not going to do too much early on. Save jungling on his own blue side.
Yeah.
And Insec will join for the 3rd wave push.
By the time that Ryu really needs that ghost again, he's going to have it up, so he's going to have that level 6. It's not a huge deal. And yeah, there's that 4-man split push. Going down in top lane.
Wave not cooperating as well as it could have, but Insec gets the shield for the tower shot, and they just immediately collapse back onto the tower, and they are winning this turret race pretty handily right now due to Save's recall.
Well, Gorilla and Zephyr just now getting to the turret. Look at that, almost a full turret behind, and
it's gonna force Watch and Gorilla to go back to defend the tier 2 with Save. And I say, good luck, Zephyr. This tower's weaker. We hope you can get this on your own. Well, and in fact, KT Bullets just not going to push it. They're going to go save their tower instead.
Okay, all right. You know, that gank attempt from Watch, too, as well, really kind of messed things up a little bit early for Shield in terms of handling this and maybe getting a little bit of a 4-man split push going themselves, but
it's been so interesting to see the development of this lane swap since they changed the trinkets.
Yeah.
Just because now the Korean teams we saw them when they would play all the way to the inhibitor, or they try and take each team would trade 2 towers for 2 towers. But that led to a lot of deep freezing scenarios.
Yeah.
That I think that the Korean teams are very reluctant to pursue right now because it can create such a massive imbalance in the game, and it's too dependent on how the minions attack each other and if you perfectly break the freeze or if you don't. And I think teams are just not willing to put that risk forward at the moment, and especially if the piled wave is missed on a double tower down or even triple tower down, and let's see, Watch looking for an angle.
Yeah, trying to come in on a gank, and there's a nice flash stun onto Maffa. Maffa flashing himself as well. Watch with the flash. Zephyr trying to get in with his flash as well, and they can't quite get first blood onto Maffa. It was close, but a lot of summoners, both heals used. Score, though, not having to use his flash, which is a little bit of a silver lining there.
And Zephyr and Gorilla both using their flash for the attempt.
As did Watch as well. So 3 flashes used for no kills on the NaJin White Shield side of things.
Ryu doing what TF will do early on. And as I was saying before we got into that gank, just in terms of the lane swap tower pushing, if you miss that piled wave, you lose like 2 levels of experience early on. And so it's just, I think they decide it's just too much of a risk, and nobody wants to play that high risk, high reward.
Score still has his flash up. Keep that in mind. And Watch is going to come from behind here. He's going to try to target Maffa. Can't get away quite as fast, but Gorilla and Zephyr a little bit slow. There's the dash from Zephyr. Can they take on Maffa? They will, and Watch gets first blood. I guess if at first you don't succeed, try again, huh? Now,
they had 2 pink wards in their jungle because they assumed that Watch would be coming through Tri-Brush, but he just ganked through River 2 times in a row, so they
that was really smart. You know, I do have to say, I like the early initial level 2 gank that Watch tried as well. You know, kind of saying,
you certainly don't expect that, yeah.
And plus, I mean, when you know the jungler is going to be up trying to do that big, 4-man split push, you know that the mid laner is going to be vulnerable too. So I like the concept behind it.
Yeah, they did lose the tower though. So yes, they got the kills, but they've turned it into something at the very least.
Yes, definitely.
But Leopard actually doing a very good job of CSing in this top lane. He did catch a very large wave earlier, pushed up by Save. That was all the way down back at the tier 2 turret for NaJin Shield. And Leopard went back. He picked up a second Doran's item just to give him an early game power spike and help him just stick around in lane. And he's doing a really good job, actually. He's ahead in items, and here comes Ryu.
Oh, that's right. Ryu coming in with the first teleport. The gold kite does hit Save. Save trying to slice and dice away. He still has his flash, and he's going to use it. Can he get away, though? Another gold card for Ryu. They're going to catch him, and Leopard gets a kill. That lane is suddenly not looking very good for Renekton at all.
Ryu just did a really good job, and that's exactly what that Ghost does right now. And of course, it gets even more dangerous after he gets that distortion enchantment onto his boots. Insec covering in mid, and this is the KT Bullets again, identifying their power spikes. They know that Ryu will have an opportunity to push this Nidalee in, and so when they have this idea that they're going to be winning in the bottom lane, Score and Moff are going to be pushed up, so the gank attempt isn't going to be there. But it does free up TF in mid to go make a play on top, on the lane where Save is way overextended to put pressure on the lane that Renekton should be winning, and then flip, turn the tide of that matchup. So really nicely played. They know, again, KT Bullets know exactly that point of weakness to exploit in the early game, and they turn it into a lead.
And they're going to hand that blue buff over to Ryu again. And he is already becoming extremely dangerous, as we've seen. Goom may be making a little bit of a roam here. Nope, just putting down a ward. All right.
Yesterday, we saw some fantastic, or not yesterday, remember when we saw the KT Arrows play?
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday, when we saw the KT Arrows play that Twisted Fate. Blaze had amazing wards around the mid lane, so that they absolutely punished any attempt that Rookie made to make a play on a lane. And really, this is the fault of NaJin Whiteshield for not communicating that TF was going to hit 6 and then warding appropriately so they could see if he was starting to move towards those lanes to get a teleport, particularly the top lane. Yeah, it's really Goong and Watch's job to ward the left side of mid lane in order to protect Save, who is way overextended there. So that's a team warding issue. And if you want to know how to ward against TF in the laning phase, go ahead and look at that KT Arrows versus Blaze game, because Blaze, man, did they do a good job.
They shut Rookie down so hard that game.
They crushed him in the laning phase. They killed him when he tried to teleport from the mid lane. Daydream and Ambition were really all over him, and they gave a fantastic demonstration of how to deal with a TF.
Yes, they did. They stacked the deck against TF, if you will.
And now Leopard, feeling very confident, went back, picked up the Ninja Tabby just so he could survive this harassment. Save deciding not even to go aggressive this game because he knows he's already going to be a little bit behind, so might as well build for some tanky items to deal with Shyvana's damage. Insect going down for a gank at bottom. Moves in through the river brush. He has not been seen by any wards. But Watch
and
there.
They do have that ward there, yeah. Watch, and Score's going to walk right into him. There's a TF ult getting started. Watch gets stunned a little bit. It's two-man stun onto Insect and Ryu. Can they make something out of this? Really good stun from Gorilla, shutting down that gank. Yeah, that was a very good W.
That's right. They managed to back out of it. Now, can they... It's like actually they chunked Ryu enough that there's not going to be a dragon play possible after this. So really good shutdown, stuffing the gank attempt from Ryu and Insect. Insect still needs quite a bit of time in this game before he gets powerful.
Whoa, Leopard a little bit low. You know, Save might have been able to stick with that one, but Goong, they saw him coming up towards top lane, so Save thinking better of it. Or rather, no, what am I even saying? Yeah.
Well, Save right there, he had already used his flash was on cooldown. He had used his Slice and Dice and Ignite, so that he just wasn't going to catch up to a burnout Shyvana, especially with tier 2 boots. So just go back to, don't over pursue it. Go back, pick up some items, and come to the wave that's pushing towards your turret, because you're going to be able to freeze it very nicely right here. Ooh, actually maybe not. It just pushed into the tower. That's a bit of a bummer. Save probably would have done better to stay around, particularly since Ryu's ult was on cooldown. And actually, he's building more aggressively now, so he's regained confidence in his abilities.
Goong coming in. There's a spear on Ryu. Yeah, they had Watch right there, so Goong trying to bait a little bit, but Ryu not falling for it. They did see him come in with that pink ward, so Watch was spotted there. Yep, that's the ward I'm talking about.
You're not going to clear it out. As long as you know where it is, it doesn't really matter at this stage.
Yeah, well, if you don't know where people are, it's not really worth the risk. It is actually, the fact that it takes 5 hits to kill a pink ward really is a big deal. It's
huge, especially in the early game when your auto attack speed is so low.
Yeah, it's a long time where people know where you are and can exploit it.
Yeah, it can be over 5 seconds. 17 stacks on this Feral Flare already, so Insect is doing a pretty good job of stacking this quickly.
Sometimes the thing is if, and obviously this is solo queue stuff, but if I notice that the enemy support is really making it a point to kill all the wards I put down, I specifically buy a pink and put it in a place where they'll stupidly go after it, and then we can gank them. Like, I'll make sure they see it.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, you can actually trick people with that in solo queue. Probably not at the high ELOs, but if you're playing at the funny ELOs like I am, then you can.
So Zephyr and Gorilla actually able to poke out Score and Mafa right here. Pretty impressive that they've been able to do that early on, especially with Gorilla having the mobility boots instead of actual combat stats. But they will go ahead and get a tower and even everything up in this game, and they're going to rotate over to Dragon and claim that.
Oh, Dragon going on, and also a gank onto Save in the top lane. There's a Slice and Dice. I'll have to give that one up. And because of it, NaJin Whiteshield to be able to grab Dragon.
It's an unfortunate timing for a gank from Insect, considering that his bot lane was back and showing in the top lane is a big tell that you're going to leave an opportunity for your opponent to get that Dragon.
Yeah. Oh, Gorilla coming down now. Oh, we can't quite find Score. Didn't have Tibbers, but still, you can get a stun pretty easily with that W. And Ryu with that nice wave clear.
I'm very curious what Score is going to do once he finishes this Blade of the Ruined King, because if he pushes that wave up, he'll have a really good opportunity to roam.
Yeah.
And with the pick potential from the KT Bullets composition, he could be very surprising in some other lanes.
True enough. Well, Gung has done a very good job of CSing in this lane. Up in CS against Ryu, and there has been a little bit of roaming going on, so that's definitely a contributing factor, but still, really good last hitting from Ryu, or from Gung rather, this game.
Yeah, it's actually fantastic that he's been able to get this much CS. Of course, he is one of the Nidalee masters of Korea, and we've had those hype videos about Gung's spears and how on point they have been this season, probably second really only to Faker in terms of accuracy.
Yeah, I would say so. And he's going to get a blue buff for his efforts. There we go. All right, well.
Wow, Insec is so close. This is a pretty early flare, actually. 2 stacks away. He's going to get him very soon after taking out this double Golem camp. Getting a little help from Score and Mafa.
Yep. Well, Jax is definitely one of those champions that can burn through the jungle pretty quick.
And there it is. And get it right there. So 15 minutes, that's on the earlier end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
He's going to be really happy that he got that. That's going to just make sure that he actually gets into that very scary late game Jax mode as quickly as possible. And there is such high damage from Score, Ryu, and Insec and Mafa right now that if they make a play, if they collapse onto a target, they will be blown up nearly instantly.
Well, yeah, if you get caught, you're dead. And the thing is, with Annie on the other side, that's a very, very fragile champion. It's
Insec had a lot of money. He was able to pick up a Cutlass right there. He only had a long sword.
Oh, here comes the TFL coming in. They're going to jump onto Gorilla, and that's what we were talking about. I just said, Annie, so vulnerable pretty much all game long. And with that high damage, you're just not going to get time to do anything. She got Tibbers down, but that was it. No one was able to capitalize on it anyway.
I think she casted Tibbers like an eighth of a second too early, because I don't think Ryu actually got hit by it when he was porting in.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, yeah. Didn't seem to make a difference either way.
Now, if you're NaJin White Shield, you just got to hold out. Yeah. You're very comfortable in your siege at this point in the game. Gung has got that Athene's Unholy Grail. You have the Bloodthirster on the Lucian. This is where you really want to start pushing down. And this is NaJin White Shield's area of expertise.
Yeah. And Ryu is making sure that he can get that wave cleared to try to stop a little bit of this, but it's not going to be easy. Yeah, here's that strong siege coming in from Shield. A little bit of damage onto the turret. And meanwhile, on the island called top lane. Oh, Insec. Oh. Oh man. Oh well, we're gonna forget that happened. Insec, don't worry. That's
He's like, what? I was just warding Baron.
Yeah, Baron's warded. Baron's warded. You know.
I got it, guys.
Now you know. Yep.
I was really worried about this 17-minute Baron.
I'm glad Insec is, in control of the Baron pit. The thing is KT likes to take those early Barons. You never know when you might need the ward, right? Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. Well, Insec is going to try his luck again by coming through late this time.
Redeem himself here. He's like, all right, that was really embarrassing, but this will show how good of a player I am.
This is going to be totally awesome.
This is my moment. Oh, he's just going to walk away.
Save with the good sense.
Yeah. Oh, Counter-Strike. He's going to come in. Doesn't get the Counter-Strike onto Save. And Save just going to pop Dominus and walk away. All right, next moment. That will be Insec's moment.
They got the slowdown.
Looking forward to it.
They got the slowdown with the Bilgewater Cutlass, but
yeah,
you're just not going to catch Save with his flash up if you don't get the Counter-Strike down as well.
Very true. Not even having to use his flash there.
So pretty good CS lead across the board for NaJin Shield, and that is certainly contributing to their overall global gold lead in this game.
Yeah.
KT been much more focused on making those plays in the lanes.
Oh. It's always fun to hit someone with a spear when they're recalling. Well, really, it's fun to hit someone with a spear anytime, but especially when they're recalling.
All right, so race taken away by Ryu, and they're just playing, KT Bull is just playing defensively right now. They need to make a pick, however, but they don't have the best wards again, so they really don't know where they're going to be able to make this play. If they had wards on Dragon right now, they could have caught somebody mid-rotation to the objective. But that's not going to happen. NaJin White Shield very well prepared to deal with any kind of aggressive play. Leopard just going to try and split push. He does have the teleport. Save will have to respond.
Yep, and he'll respond with a bit of action on the Leopard, but I don't think Leopard's too worried about that.
He's getting pretty tanky.
Yeah, he is. He really is. Very
Here
close to that Sunfire
Score.
Score trying to get that flank in from the side. Can they catch Zephyr? There we go. They're going to try to do it. The Ryu comes in with the gold card. And again, all that damage. Oh, Score takes a big spear, but I think they should still be able to get Dragon. We'll see, though, Gorilla. No flash, but he might be able to get a good tippers. Great zoning by Moffat throughout all that. And now Watch gets jumped on. He has to flash. Leopard chasing. And NaJin Shield just routed there. Score nearly dies to the Nidalee spears.
Goong is so good at threading those spears back to the carry.
I can't believe he does that. I really cannot believe how accurate he is.
Well, in spite of all of that, that was a pretty big misplay right there because you can't let them have an opportunity to pick you. That is exactly what the KT Bullets want to do. And yes, they were pushing the lane to have additional safety at the Dragon, but nobody was anywhere close to Zephyr, so a positioning error from NaJin Shield gives the KT Bullets the window they needed in order to successfully get that 5v4 at the Dragon and pick up the objective. Leopard also just using the teleport to show up, pick up the Dragon, walk on out. Goong will get the blue buff.
Yep. As Nidalees often do. And Zephyr will pick up the red. Now, it's actually surprising to me that we only have 4 kills in this game so far. I mean, the ganks have been good, the picks have been good, but it hasn't really been that much of a fighting-oriented game. I mean, Shield's done a pretty good job of avoiding a lot of the violence.
They have, and it definitely is still anybody's game.
Yeah, totally.
Dragon does swing a very slight gold lead into the KT Bullets' favor, but like it's by by no means game-breaking. Now, we're getting to the point, though, where NaJin White Shield is going to be kind of in the peak power spike that they're going to experience in this game with the siege potential for Nidalee and Lucian. And after that, when we talk about the late game, and we look at the scaling, Shyvana will outscale Renekton, Jax is going to outscale Evelynn, and then Twitch is going to outscale Lucian. And then once everybody gets Banshee's Veils, Nidalee's going to have a lot harder time. So if the KT Bullets can survive this kind of mid-game push phase, they should be okay.
Oh, Leopard's coming in from behind here. He could, they're going to kind of leave it be. Thought maybe we were going to see KT try to collapse on this, but Leopard thinking better of it.
Well, NaJin White Shield, knowing they have to protect their flanks, they're a team that is used to playing these siege compositions.
They've got good wards,
And they have a lot of threat in their back line. They have gap closers on Shyvana and Jax. They have ambush onto Twitch. And they have DF possibly just ulting into their back line. It's going to be much more dangerous if and when he gets that Zhonya's.
Yeah.
And Ryu, I assume we're going to see a Zhonya's next because he's going to be able to shut down the siege with it. And that's what the KT Arrows didn't do with Twisted Fate, is Rookie was not willing to pick up an early Zhonya's, and Zhonya's aggressively hard engage their backline on turrets. And that, I think the KT Arrows would have beaten Blaze had they done that.
Yeah, he ended up making Zhonya's like his 4th item, if I remember right. It was really late. Oh, Twitch coming in, though. There's a TFL coming in. They catch Renekton a little bit in the back line. Ryu coming in with the gold card. They do lock up Gorilla, but Gorilla responding with his ult. Insect gets a kill, so they break the siege with the Ryu ultimate. They do get 1 kill. Would have liked to get a little bit more there, but they'll take what they can get.
KT Bullets, we talked about this. Against Blaze, they ran a Siege Breaker comp. This is very similar.
Yes.
That composition was the support Malphite, the Twitch again, Shyvana, Lee Sin, and Yasuo. And the Yasuo was there just to be able to hard engage with his ultimate once the knock-up from Shyvana came in, or the kick from Lee Sin.
Right.
But he was able to close the gap onto the back line, and Twitch is also able to flank. This time, we have, as we can see right here, the flank from Twisted Fate, and he gets onto Gorilla with the Ghost, and Gorilla is forced to use Tibbers on one target and I don't even think it hit. I can't see the replay as to whether Ryu is actually stunned or not.
Oh, by the way, we talked to OGN about this. They'll probably change it. They should. They need to change it. We're going to insist that they change it, actually. Don't worry, guys.
I can't tell what's going on. I'm sorry, guys.
It looks really, All right, well, we'll make sure that gets fixed. Don't worry. What is this, a replay for ads?
Well, Ryu going for the death cap instead, so maybe wants a little bit more wave clear and poke right here. And as long as he can continue to get a flank, he doesn't necessarily have to go right in the back line. He did a lot in terms of creating some pressure in that team fight and drawing out pretty suboptimal Tibbers. But I think KT Bullets, this was my fear coming into tonight for NaJin Whiteshield, is that the KT Bullets were too good at this.
Oh, here we go. Insect coming in the back lines. They're going to jump on Gorilla right away. Doesn't have Tibbers up yet. Leopard get a teleport ahead, or rather flash ahead after the teleport. They do manage to get the kill onto Annie. Meanwhile, Score actually gets a turn bot lane. Now NaJin Whiteshield going to try to re-engage. Save chasing Insect over the wall, but now Save on his own a little bit. Insect low, Watch coming from behind, grabs that kill. He's going to try to get a second one onto Malfa, and he's going to get it, a double for Watch. So they do get a turret and a kill, but Shield responding with 2 kills of their own. And a turret as well.
Score was not there for that fight. Now he's going to try and make a play.
Yeah, well, Ryu just so low, man. Score coming from the outside, and the culling coming up. Ryu just wants to participate so bad, but he's such low health, he can't risk it.
Yeah, he got hit by a spear. Goong again, really saving that fight. If Ryu had landed a gold card, it would have been a very different affair.
Oh yeah, that would have been probably another 2 kills at least there.
So KT Bullets have a good engage on that fight, but Score not really there to help out. And so NaJin Whiteshield realizes this, turns around the fight immediately. Very good heads-up play from NaJin Whiteshield, but Score, buddy, you need to get there for the next fight.
Yeah, I mean, he got the turret for split pushing, but they really needed a bit more than that.
If Score is there, however, it is really, really difficult for NaJin Whiteshield to siege.
Yes.
Of course, you have the teleport coming in, you've got the TF roll coming in from the side, tons of gap closers, Twitch flank, and then on top of that, you have the Karma speed boost, and that is so core to what is going on here, because in the last comp they had Malphite for that hard engage. Well, Karma is just going to be able to allow everybody to rush the back line.
Ooh, here we go. There's a Dragon Beam taken down by NaJin Whiteshield. Now there should be enough ults up, for KT to make a play on this if they want to. Mafa tries to take it with his Q, but doesn't end up working out. They're just going to allow Leopard to take that top turret, it looks like, instead.
Yeah, they had teleport down, so perfectly fine to make the trade right here. Leopard trying to get the last few autos. He's taking a lot of damage for the turret, though.
I'll get it. He's committed now. And
Save had no ignite, so...
they saw Insect and Mafa coming up as well, too, so Save couldn't really stick around too much. Oh, wow, that was close to being very bad for Mafa. Watch gets a little bit caught by that pink ward, and here comes Ryu from the back lines. They get the stun. Watch trying to live. Ryu very low, has to run away, but it looks like Score will pick up the kill. The pick ends up working. Oh, and Goong takes a big chunk out of Score. Oh, Goong is getting so terrifying right now.
Goong is hitting just Ryu and Score over and over again with the spears. He is really keeping NaJin Whiteshield in this game through very accurate skill shots.
Yes, he is. I mean, the thing is, because if some of those spears weren't hitting, the pressure from KT would be so much more. I mean, they could go through with the fights, but when stuff like that happens, they have to back off.
Absolutely, Doa. Absolutely right. Okay.
Yeah, Goong really kind of putting the team on his shoulders at this point a little bit.
He's definitely preventing them from losing fights harder than they would be otherwise.
Yeah. And Watch, Watch has not had a bad game either. They're surviving. I mean, they're sticking in there yet. There's a gold card on to Save. There's so much burst damage. There's the ultimate, and Leopard coming in. Wow, they're able to take out Save that quickly. And Gorilla, they just nearly burst him down just for the fun of it.
Zephyr forced to use his ultimate right there. Insect.
Yeah.
Split pushing his heart out here in the top lane. Watch is there, but not really going to be able to duel him.
Yeah, and I think Insect's going to be fine with just pushing that lane up and then heading down to mid. Meanwhile, in mid, Zephyr gets caught by that gold card, has to use that or has to.
How did he get caught
out.
by that gold card?
I was just wondering that, actually. Yeah, that kind of threw me a little bit. I have to see replay. Maybe he tried to dash ahead for a little bit of burst or something.
I see. I think Score flash poisoned him, poison cast him, and then Ryu was able to walk up and gold card him through the slow. That's what I think happened.
I think you're right. Actually, it looked like 2 heals were used there for KT as well during that fight. Just to kind of work through those turret hits, I think. Maybe we'll get to see a tiny replay and try to decipher it.
By the way, Doe, what do you think about the change of Twitch's ult from Spray and Pray to Rat-a-tat?
I'm never gonna say it. I don't know. I'm just straight up I'm gonna put that one out there. That's an ult name that I just cannot work into my play-by-play casting. I'm sorry, Riot. I don't like it at all.
I think it's real bad.
Yeah. And I'm actually not a big fan of the change from Expunge to Contaminate as well, too, because Expunge I felt like was a much better description of, you know, kind of activating the poison that's in the victims.
True.
Yeah. So I really don't get the ability name changes for Twitch. I'm sorry. Like, it's, I don't know. It's not the best.
I also don't get why they're changing the names at all.
Yeah, exactly. Because he has legs now.
I mean, I could understand why they changed the name of Lux's ult, because it was in German and kind of weird. But
I don't even remember the old name for the ult.
Finalis Funktown.
Oh, okay.
And
that's right.
Now it's Final Spark, which is what it means in German, but that's fine. But Spray and Pray, I felt, was very descriptive.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
As was Expunge.
Both names are very descriptive, and now they're like faux clever, but very ambiguous. Yeah, I don't know. It's
Spray and Pray is that's if you had an ability called Spike.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know what Rat-a-tat means.
It's because he's a rat. Get it? Because he's a rat. Oh. And it's like a machine gun from a rat.
Okay, here's a pick.
Goon gets completely caught out. And that is the burst from Spray and Pray right there. And Ryu as well. A lot of damage onto him with that Void Staff now finished in second. Save. Dueling a little bit in the top lane.
KT really showing up today. And, man, you could just tell they've been practicing against this.
Oh, yeah.
And I do feel that the Masters match was them just firing a warning shot last week for NaJin Shield.
No, Tibbers
Very
completely
good flash.
whiffs. Ryu, man, the presence of mind to see that, because Gorilla flashed for that. It is hard to dodge a flash Tibbers.
Had to blow two summoners, but they also get the split push pressure down. Of course, that teleport is available.
Man.
And yeah, I really feel, I was actually surprised when it came into play and we saw it, because I was like, you're letting NaJin Shield know that you know this.
Yeah, exactly.
But I really feel that it was some mind games to rattle NaJin Shield, and now they're facing...
Here we go.
I honestly believe, Doa, that that's why NaJin Shield ran that comp in the first game, was because they saw the game against Blaze. They're like, oh, uh-oh.
They're like, well, we got to change it up. And
we got to change it up. It didn't work, and now they're back to Comfort, and KT Bullets are just...
They're ready.
This is a team that destroys siege compositions. They really know how to play around them.
Yep. KT wanting to take that KT Bullets Baron. You know, Mafa, I gotta say, he's been pretty good at dodging some of those spears this game without using abilities or anything like that. He's been able to sidestep it pretty decently.
He has.
But, yeah, look at that one, see? He's so good.
Spear dodger, Mafa.
Oh.
Of course, it would happen right as I said.
I know, right? We cursed him.
The casts are cursed.
Oh, no.
I place it upon you, Mafa.
I'm sorry, Mafa.
And Insect going for the Trinity Force afterwards, so...
Why not?
It's a bit of a risk. It's a bit of a risk, but I guess they feel that Shyvana's tanky enough right now. Shyvana not going for...
You know, and the thing is, too, is that with the 3 heals on NaJin, White Shield, you really do need to be able to burst people. Ryu just freaking people out with his ultimate,
It was a zoning ult.
It was, yeah, zoning ult, don't worry.
Had to zone these guys off of Baron.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Oh, yeah.
Well, Leopard actually, he did get the cowl, and now he's going for another chain vest for Thornmail. So KT, they just want to split push right now. That's what the Jax build says as well. This is a Jax that's going to get blown up in team fights just because of how squishy he is, but he's going to be incredibly good when it comes to dueling.
Yeah.
And that Feral Flare really starting to stack up.
Yeah, it is.
So back it is for Leopard into the bottom lane. Not concerned with getting any magic damage to resist Goong. So they've got a lead. They've got a very large lead. And they're just trying to play out their strategy and not group up, not provide a 5-man defense where it makes it easier for Goong to hit those spears in a milling mass around a turret for defense.
Well, Shield has that, ultimate worst-case scenario right now where they're a siege comp that can't siege. And if you can't siege, what do you really do?
It makes it obviously extremely difficult, especially because they only have 2 towers down and 2 of their inners are gone, which means that they have to extend so far down the lane to put on siege pressure.
Yeah.
And with TF able just to port in right behind you, or Twitch to ambush right behind you, it's a really ugly situation for NaJin Shield.
Yeah, well, 2 towers might be enough for the forces of Mordor, but it is not enough for NaJin White Shield. They need at least a couple more.
They need
11. At least 11 towers.
It's like a solo Baron. He's not even taking damage. He's not even taking damage from this Baron.
Are you serious? Wow. And Score's just going to help out, because why not? Oh, there's a ward, though. And is NaJin Shield going to fight this? Nope.
This Jax build, man, is crazy.
Yeah, he has.
Just see that damage output coming in, and his sustain, too.
He's become Super Jax.
It's such a threat because NaJin White Shield just has to sit there right now because otherwise that Baron is just going to melt. They're trying to set up a pick here as the wave pushes out in the top lane. Jack's going to attempt to bait. Well, Score and Mafa.
I don't think they're going to fall for that one. Way too dangerous. I mean, you could have TF coming in behind you just don't know.
Ryu grabbing the blue buff right now. Taking the safe route back around.
Yep. Oh, Score coming in. They're going to try to get a pick onto Watch. Watch popping the W to try to get away. There's the ultimate just to make sure. Ooh, that ultimate nearly slowed the bit down enough for Goong to hit that spear.
It's a good thing Ryu. It's a good thing Ryu actually popped that because Shield may have been able to.
Oh, here we go. He's coming in, trying to get in on the save, but isn't quite able to do it. He's going to gold card that turret, though. That turret's going nowhere. Oh, Goong, a little bit of damage onto Leopard, but Ryu manages to make it out. And there's the Baron now for the KT Bullets. Gorilla and Watch are there. The rest of NaJin White Shield trying to collapse. There's a teleport, though, bringing in Leopard. And it's a bit of a risk. Can they take it? Watch coming in, tries to flash. He steals it. Watch steals Baron, but can Shield make it out? A great Timber Stud comes in over the top. No kills just yet, though. Never mind, they do a couple kills coming in, rather, from KT. Insec having to flash over the wall, save, chasing down Ryu. There's the gold card. He gets it, but doesn't get the first one, and he doesn't get away. NaJin White Shield, what a turnaround. That Baron steal from Watch.
A little bit risky, and that's the price you pay when you don't have good wards around the Baron again for the KT Bullets.
Very true.
They didn't have ward control over the backside of the pit, and when you're dealing with a lot of damage coming over the back in the form of a culling and the spears, have to be super careful. Score trying to make a play right now.
He is, yep. I can't quite do it, yep.
And Ryu missed the first shot at his gold card, as you noticed.
Yeah.
So I think he was... we just made a mistake, basically.
Let's watch the tiny replay. It's such a cute little replay. It's so cute about Baron steal.
Oh, man. Well, Watch.
He just won the Smite War, you know?
He just won the Smite War, but if you notice, they don't have any vision right there, and that's not really an acceptable situation if you want to take a safe Baron. And it's confusing that the KT Bullets...
Insec. He's like, man, this is worse than when I tried to ward over the wall and missed it.
It's confusing because the KT Bullets used to have such dominant Baron control where it was a total blackout and you never know when they were going to do it or not.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of goes back to some of the problems that the KT Bullets started to kind of display early in this season, and they still kind of exist a little bit to this point.
Well, look at the difference in wards right now. Look at the wards on the map. Look at the wards in the...
Score trying to make a pick on the save here. Insect baiting him back and save. In a lot of trouble. Can he make it out? No ultimate. And he's going to go down. Goong, though, tries to get the spear on the Score. Doesn't work. There's the tippers on the Gorilla. Ryu comes in with the gold card and gets the kill along with Insect. So a couple picks from KT Bullets, and they are right back to putting a lot of pressure onto NaJin White Shield, and that was a White Shield with Baron as well.
Oh, they're really far behind, so.
Very true. There's the culling.
But as I was saying, look at the number of wards in the inventory of NaJin White Shield, look at the number of shield wards on the map, and then do the same for KT Bullets. This is a problem.
I would say so. Got a ward.
Got a ward. Now they have Twisted Fate, which I think is a bit of a band-aid.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the ultimate gives you vision, so it's a little bit of a ward placeholder, I suppose. But doesn't really take the place of actual wards. Goom needs to be so careful here. Oh, man. Nearly getting caught. And they're going to lose this inhibitor. Oh, my gosh. The inhibitor actually lives. It was just a little bit too dangerous to come in, and Gorilla trying to chase. Gets the Q stun. Or did he? Maybe not.
It probably was at the end of the leap strike. But
yeah,
Leopard still just split pushing, and nothing is going to really be able to stop him at this point. They've had such trouble keeping him from pushing down turrets in the side lanes with that teleport. And this is what's so frustrating about watching.
Oh, well. Goodbye, Mafa, rather.
Well, he got the inhibitor.
He did, yeah.
He went on an inhibitor suicide mission.
Yep. Support Ocelot for the win there. Barely kills an inhibitor with no health and dies. Well, it works.
Okay, NaJin trying to use this opportunity where they don't have to deal with the movement speed buff from Mafa to actually put some siege on, and there's the...
Gated Estimate coming in onto Gorilla. The Tibbers delay 6 for a moment and actually got away. Man, Gorilla's reflex has been pretty good. Leopard getting chased 4v1. Oh, that's a good spear. And Leopard, is he actually not going to make it out here? There's the calling. Leopard has to use Dragon's Descent to make it on live. Insect turning it around, has to leap strike away, and he gets stunned now. Score coming in from the other side, a lot of damage too with spray and pray, but is it enough? They really need Ryu there. Ryu a little bit trapped behind the wall here, but now the turnaround coming in from Leopard. There's a kill on to watch right away, and Ryu can come in from the side now. He's got the gold card, didn't quite get it off in time, and Zephyr, there's the Zonius from Ryu, keeps him alive. That's the strength of that Zonius onto TF. Leopard gets stunned. They managed to turn it around, though. Ryu did end up dying, but they managed to kill a bunch of members of NaJin White Shield, and that's going to be more pressure from KT coming in. Gorilla just still getting chased across the map, and Mata should be able to get him with the tether. Yeah, there we go. Goodbye, Gorilla. Not quite yet. Never mind. Yeah, he has stuns.
He got his talisman back on cooldown. Now, the big problem for NaJin White Shield in that fight was that we saw Gorilla have to use the talisman to escape Ryu in the mid lane, which means it wasn't there for both the dive and the retreat. Actually under that tower, and having that talisman up may have changed that fight.
You know, in that situation too, I almost feel better that I almost feel like it's just better that you die as quick as possible to come back as quick as possible, because now it's going to be another 20 seconds left, and all the inhibitors are down. He would have been back in time to help with that anyway, but still.
You have to hand it to the Bullets. They this game, which is more than likely going to end up in a win, as they are 15,000 gold in the lead.
Well, it'll be a pretty amazing comeback if Shield managed to take this one.
Right, it'll put them up to 9-1 all time over NaJin White Shield.
Wow,
and of course, let's take a look at this again. So, having to use that Dragon's Descent outright there, Insect pops his ultimate, and there is a Randuin's. They try and catch up, but Score gets a very good angle right here. He gets jumped on just a little bit, but I think the Evelyn ult missed right there.
Ryu actually came in and flashed gold carded. Annie actually did it to Gorilla, but there was no follow-up at all. So that got a little bit awkward.
Yeah, that was a bit of a waste, considering he knew that the ultimate had already been used.
Yeah, you know, it's a little bit surprising. So how did he die here? I'm curious about this. Did
Tibbers?
He just died to Tibbers AoE? Is that what happened there?
Either that or Ignite. Again, hard to tell.
I didn't think the Ignite was used on him, but that was interesting.
We'll never know.
Maybe it was.
Tiny replay is difficult to see.
It really is, yeah. I mean, the cooldown is appropriate with that. Baron up in 5. KT ready to take it. Mafa's going to be spotted by this ward. Dramatic zoom in. And this Baron will go down extremely quickly, and there's nothing that NaJin White Shield can do about it this time. So that will be an easy Baron for KT.
I love how this Jax just can solo Baron.
I know, right? There you go. Doesn't really lose any health.
The power of Feral Flare.
Yep.
He has 38 stacks on it.
Wow.
That's pretty sweet.
Fun times.
And here we go. This is more than likely maybe the final push of this game. They're looking for that last inhibitor. Insect just zoning out with the counter-strike right there. Allows Leopard to get a few autos in.
Yeah,
oh,
right. Goon gets a little bit slowed down. Yeah, Ryu needs to be careful here. Save. Getting backed off a little bit. Score. Backing off. Nice spray and pray damage to the outside. And Leopard zoning so well. Ryu now coming in. There's the zonies from Goong. But Insect right there. Oh, gets stunned by Gorilla. Oh, it's not going to save Goong. I thought Gorilla's stun was going to let him get back to base, but didn't work. And that is going to be it. A near ace. The Nexus goes down, and the KT Bullets take a 2-0 lead over NaJin White Shield.
KT Bullets, they're just
strong.
They're outsmarting NaJin White Shield tonight. NaJin White Shield looked uncomfortable in the first game on that composition, and as soon as they switch back for